21 days ago, these scrappy River Rats clawed out a 1-point win over Pie High, 42-41 at the Riverdome tonight. Both teams are 6-1, tied for first in the SEC Red Division, and the ball is up. We are ready to play. This is a championship night, championship atmosphere, Pete. I'm glad we got great seats for this contest, sir. Good evening, Pete.
Hey, Kevin, how you doing?
Great.
Well, Huron won the opening tap, and Mike Lewis passed it out of bounds. He was looking for Yontae Jackson. Jackson was not looking for the ball. And here's a steal by Andre Bond down the floor and up and off the rim, no good. Rebounded by Holman. And Bond commits the foul on Holman. Bond with an uncontested layup and couldn't finish.
Bond, the second leading scorer for the River Rats, Pete. He's a guy that scored the game-tying shot 3 weeks ago when these two teams met. He'll have to stay careful out there to make sure he doesn't pick up another foul and find his way over to the bench.
Now Pioneers' first turn on offense, shot up by Ethan Spencer. No good, but he draws the foul. Now inbound at Issa. Over to Schaefer, back to Issa, into Spencer. Bounce pass down low. Intercepted by Bond. Now Bond with the top of the key. They'll back it out. Huron will set up their offense.
River Rats trying to move the ball around. You know who they can go to, though. Mr. Lewis delivering 18 points, 5 boards a night. He's Mr. Everything right now for the Rats. He's been on fire.
Well, entry pass to Lewis. He spins, turns, ball's out of bounds. It'll stay Huron basketball.
In the last game, Pete, Pioneer came out on fire as well. Knocked in 5 3-pointers in the first quarter. Rats clawed back after a 25-16 halftime lead by the Pioneers, just through defense, really.
So inbounded to Henry. Now to Bond. Bond will drive the baseline, put the shot up, no good. Rebounded by Issa, but taken away by Lewis, and put back is good. And the River Rats score the first bucket of the night. They lead 2-0 with 6:27 to play here in the first quarter.
Not surprising, Mike Lewis on the end of that bucket either.
Jumper by Schaefer, off the glass, and good.
That's a difficult angle to make that shot. Good shot there by Schaefer.
Oh, Bond will hand it off to Henry. And Henry looking to pass, shifted his pivot foot. He's called for the travel, turnover in favor of the Pioneers.
Now, both of these coaches are defensive-minded coaches in this type of atmosphere. I wouldn't be surprised, Pete, if the game came right down to the final possession.
Usually these games do, and usually not a blowout. Time will tell as we see how this plays out. Pioneer on offense. Now Holman at the top of the key to Hussein. Looked like he was going to jack up the three. Pass it back to Holman. Now Hussein's got it again. Down low to Issa in the corner. Off the rim, no good. Put back by Hussein. Nice job following the shot. Getting the offensive rebound and the bucket for Hussein.
That was a nice play by Hussein to follow the shot. He kept the ball high and just tipped it in. And remember playing this back in 21. You tip the ball in, and the guy you just tipped in has to go back to zero. Good play there by Hussein.
Well, another turnover by the River Rats. And Pioneers got the ball back. Now Holman handling to Issa in the corner.
Holman, I have to log a couple more extra minutes. I'm sorry about that, Pete, but Holman's going to be out in the backcourt by himself tonight. We noticed that Ja'Cory Davis is in a walking boot.
Long downtown three by Holman is in and out, no good. Rebounded by Perkins. Now Bond's got it. The jumper is up, and it's in. Now Pioneer on offense. Holman captaining at the top of the key. Now in the corner for Hussein for three. And that's over the rim, no good. Rebounded by Lewis. Lewis will push it up the floor over the timeline. Now down in the corner to Henry. Henry will drive the baseline. Pass out to Kendall Thomas, rather. His shot is off the rim, no good. Rebounded by Pioneer. Now down low to Hussein once again. Shot is up and good.
Nice look-away pass by Jimmy Holman, the catalyst for the Pioneer team.
Holman spotted Jabril Hussein down on the baseline, and he put the layup in.
Hussein is probably the most improved Pioneer player since the beginning of the season. He was coming off the bench, and now he's called upon to be the second leading scorer of the team.
Now Bond handling at the top.
That gentleman, too.
Bond looking for the screen, doesn't get it. He'll hand it off to Henry. Now Henry over to Lewis. Inside to Perkins, off the rim, no good. Rebounded by Holman. Now Spencer has it in the paint, hands it off to Hussein, and he drives the baseline, and the layup by Hussein is good. 6 straight points by Jabril Hussein, and Pioneer leads 8-4.
Similar to the last game, Pioneer starting off very well, hitting on all cylinders.
Now Lewis has it, pivots, puts the shot up, awkward angle, off the rim, no good. Holman rebounds.
I don't like that shot. He can play well with his back to the basket, but that was kind of a tough angle and almost forced.
Well, Pioneer swinging around the perimeter, intercepted by Lewis. Got a 3-on-1, and he overthrows Thomas out of bounds. Another unforced error by the River Rats. Then it'll be Pioneer basketball.
You know, that turnover there by Lewis is not something that he's accustomed to doing. He's usually pretty good with the ball. Here's a quick look at Hussein driving that left side baseline once again, climbing up to the backboard, showing off his big 6'5" frame.
Now Spencer has it, free throw line, hits Hussein. The reverse layup is good, count it, and the foul.
Now, one thing you want to keep an eye on is the defensive set that the River Rats come out in. Coach Samaha, he likes to employ different confusing type of defensive sets to confuse the opponent he's playing against. Right now, they're just sitting back in a zone, and Hussein is really taking advantage of that baseline. Here he goes once again.
Nice entry pass by Spencer. Free throws in and out, no good. Rebounded by Alan Thomas. Long shot is over the rim, no good. Picked up by Bertoy on the floor, and Holman will bring it up. Now York into Spencer. Back out to Bertoya. Spencer looks, has the open shot, he takes it. It's off the front of the rim, no good. Rebounded by Bertoya, and he puts a layup in.
Young Nick Bertoya being in the right place at the right time. Right now, the left side of the backboard to us, Pete, has just been very kind to Pioneer. Huron has to get some guys on the backboard.
Well, and the Rats look like they're forcing the offense a bit. There's Henry with the shot, and that's good.
That's probably Huron's first quality look at the rim.
Nice drive by Antonio Henry. Now York for 3. In and out, no good. Picked up by Spencer, and the putback is good. Pioneer just crashing the offensive rebound.
And they're shooting outstanding from the floor right now.
Oh, Mike Lewis on the drive. We have a whistle before the shot. Looks like Bertoya is going to pick up the block.
Most of Pioneer's points have been coming on putbacks. They're just beating Huron to the ball. And as we say normally, Pete, rebounding is 100% effort.
Well, and you see once Pioneer launches a shot, you see 2-3 guys heading towards the basket, looking for that offensive rebound. Now long inbound to Kendall Thomas. Now bounce pass to Perkins. The jumper is good.
Only a sophomore, Nick Perkins, is learning how to play in rivalry games. Got to conserve your energy because you're going to have runs by both teams.
Long three-pointer by Holman is off the rim, no good.
And check that. Perkins is only a freshman. That's sick. Very good touch from Perkins here. 10-foot in.
Jumper by Perkins. Nice.
Lefty.
And a freshman at 6'6".
Only can
I don't
get
think
longer.
the young man's done growing yet.
I hope not. And I know Coach Samaha's feeling the same way.
Oh, York over to Wasson. Giovanni Wasson, last time we saw him, gentleman's got a haircut now.
He does.
Got to cut short. Oh, York over to Bertoya. Back to York, now down low. Tevis Robinson was intercepted by Thomas. Thomas with a spin move and blocked out of bounds.
Well, I'll
Robinson trying to make up for it on the other end.
Hey, and that's a good way to make up your mistake, young man. Come back and clean up your mess. You must protect this house.
Well, that block fires up the Pioneer cheering section, the student section. Now ball inbounded to Bond. Now the corner to Thomas. Cross court to Lewis for three. Off the back of the rim, no good. We have a whistle.
Unfortunate there by York. Never want to foul a jump shot shooter.
Aiden York will pick up the foul for Pioneer. And Mike Lewis will head to the free throw line for three.
That's always a pleasant sighting if you're a scorer and you haven't seen the ball go through the rim yet. Get on the scoring sheet by getting to the foul line.
And the first one is in and out, no good. Well, just 11 seconds left in the first quarter. The River Rats can cap off a nice start to this game. Second one is good. Third one is on the way, and it's through.
And each shot looked better and better. First one cracked the rim. The last one was just all net. See if he can build on that, Mike Lewis, in the second quarter.
Oh, Wasson with the jumper. In and out, no good. Bertoya chased down the rebound, and the putback is not in time. And that'll do it for the first quarter of play. At the end of one quarter, it's Pioneer 14 and Huron 10.
I'll tell you what, Pete, kind of similar to the game when Pioneer lost on the road 21 days ago, 3 weeks back, where they get off to a good start. This time, though, instead of hitting 5 3-pointers to begin the game, they're just out hustling and getting some putbacks.
Yeah, great job on the offensive glass for the Pioneers. They must have gathered in 6 or 7 of them on the offensive side. And just about all their putbacks were good, and that staked them to this 4-point lead here in the end of the first quarter.
And on the flip side, as far as Huron on their offensive end, they forced some shots both from Mike Lewis as well as a long three from Kendall Thomas that just didn't seem like they have gotten that lather up or that sweat up. And not going to say that they're taking this game or this team any lightly. You never do in a rivalry game. They just don't have the seem their tempo or flow yet.
Well, Kevin, if I can use a bit of a cliche, in the first quarter they seem to not let the offense come to them. Just play your game, move the ball around, get a good shot, do what your coach tells you to do. Instead, it seemed very forced.
It seemed very forced, but Pioneer coach Rex Stanzak, I'm betting he was thinking that his team would be up by more than 4 points after such a good start.
Oh, Pioneer will begin the second quarter with the basketball.
These big rivalry games, you get the big cheerleader performance they've been working on all year. This is special because, extra parents in the house and some extra eyeballs on all the hard work they've been putting in. Although Pioneer's team, they look like they're ready to get going now. They're on the court.
Well, seems like more of a halftime show than a between the quarters show. The cheerleaders clear the floor and ready back to play.
Both of these teams know each other very well. Both coaches know each other very well, so this should be a slugfest.
Oh, York with the basketball is driving, knocked away from him. Picked up off the floor by Lewis. Lewis is going to put the shot up. Knocked away from him. We have a whistle. Bertoya is going to pick up the foul. There it is. Got it right on the hand. Nick Bertoya will pick up the foul.
I hope he got that cookie because his hand was in the cookie jar.
What flavor?
I don't know. I like chocolate chips with a little bit of macadamia.
Oh, Mr. Fancy. Well, excuse me. Macadamias.
My pinky was up when I said that, too.
Should we have a spot of tea with that, Kevin? Both free throws off the mark for Huron. Now Pioneer back on offense. Lewis still looking to find his shot a little bit. Only 2 points, and both of those from the line. Now Wasson over to York, back out to Wasson. Now York drives the baseline, puts a shot up off the glass, no good. Rebounded by Rakic. His shot is no good. Now quickly down the floor. Huron. Henry's shot is off the mark. Picked up off the floor by Perkins. Perkins with the turn jumper.
Kind of
partially
like
blocked.
Got away with a little bit of
Looked like a bit of a
action.
hack there.
Yeah.
Wasson back down the floor, and his shot is good for Pioneer.
Well, I guess we have our answer who's going to come in and help Jimmy Holman on the ball handling. Wasson, he can put it in the rim as well.
Bond on the drive. No shot, although it fell, but the foul clearly before he got the shot off. But really nice finish by Andre Bond, even though it doesn't count.
Bond is a skywalker. This guy gets up in the air very well, easily. Shoots over people.
Tempo seems to be picking up on both teams' part, too, to begin the second quarter.
It sure does. Crowd is feeling it as well, too.
Now Lewis will inbound it to Henry. Now cross court to Jackson, rather. That shot is off the mark, no good. Rebounded by Pioneer. Now Hussein in the corner, gets it to York. He can't handle it. Picked up by Henry, down the floor. Antonio Henry's shot is no good. Rebounded by Thomas. Or check that, that's Yante Jackson with the putback for Huron.
Finally, the Rats find out that you got to rebound some of those missed shots. Follow up those missed shots.
Hussein in the corner for three, and it's good.
Where would the Pioneers be without Jabril Hussein? That's 11 for him in the first half.
Lewis has it down in the corner to Weeks. Weeks to Jackson. Jackson misses everything. Picked up off the floor by Wasson, and Holman will bring it up the floor for Pioneer. Now York looked like he was going to take the three, thought the better of it, backed it out. Now Wasson has it on the opposite side of the floor. Bounce pass to Holman, down low. Holman trying to hit a cutting Hussein. Knocked out of bounds by Huron. Looked like Bond touched it. And Pioneer will keep possession.
Sort of odd for Hussein to be making a living as a right-handed player from the left side of the rim.
That's where all of his points have come from, is the left side of the hoop, though.
You would think that the River Rats could learn and adjust to that. They haven't so far.
Holman called for traveling on the drive. River Rat basketball.
Really on the characteristic of Jimmy Holman. He really takes good care of the ball. Finds guys in the right spot at the right time.
5:15 to play here in the half. Pioneer with a 19-12 lead. Now Jackson back out to Henry. Back to Jackson. Way out by the timeline to Bond. Bond directing traffic.
Rats finally are trying to work some offense now. Beginning, it seemed like they were all out for their own.
Now bounce pass to Bugs. Bugs with the turnaround, and it's good. Now bounce pass to Hussein. He tried the reverse layup, again from the left side of the hoop. Shot's no good. Hussein was fouled. He'll head to the free throw line.
For the Pioneers, Spencer is at 21. That guy is just a really unsung hero. Not the tallest guy out here, but look at it. He's finding his teammates. He gets those scrappy rebounds. He's a player that can play on my team any day of the week.
Nice bounce pass by Spencer into Hussein.
Just one of those teammates you can always depend on.
First free throw is off the front of the rim, no good.
Hussein's only problems have come from the foul line tonight. He's gotten off to a fantastic beginning of this game.
Next one by Hussein is in and out. Rebounded by Bugs. And Bond is down the floor quickly for Huron. He'll put the shot up, and it's good.
I didn't see the opening there. Bonds just made it.
Now Holman, top of the key. Over to Issa. He loses the basketball. Picked up by Bond. Bond out to Jackson for three, and it's through. Thomas. That's Alan Thomas with the three, and that'll tie it at 19 with 4 minutes to play here in the second quarter.
Well, Alan Thomas, he's one of those guys that when we saw him early in the year, he couldn't hit the ocean if he was walking on water. Good to see him not think about it, put it up, have confidence in your shot, and it'll fall eventually.
Absolutely. Well, nice job by Bond to see Thomas out there spotting up at the three-point line. And Alan Thomas buried it. And now we're tied after Pioneer really controlled all of the first quarter and probably half of the second quarter.
Well, just like we're taking a quick look right there at Jabril Hussein. Other than him, no one else has more than 2 points. So that's kind of a double-edged sword. No one's really gotten into the scoring groove for the Pioneers. The young man with the ball right now is somebody I expect to start putting the ball in the basket.
A nice pass by Holman into Hussein. And for the first time this evening, Hussein attacking the hoop from the right side. This shot was no good, and he was fouled and head to the line. There's a look at it on the replay.
Unfortunately for the River Rats, that'll probably put Weeks down for the remaining part of the first half. That's his third foul.
First free throw is good. Team fouls, 5 for Huron and 4 for Pioneer.
Rather small team right now for the River Rats out there. Mike Lewis is their largest player. They've got really 4 guards and a forward.
Hussein's second free throw is no good, rebounded by Bugs. Bugs brought it down the floor. Andre Bond back out by the timeline between the circles. Now he'll drive, hand it off to Thomas. Thomas will spot up, shoot a rather flat three. That's no good, rebounded by Bugs. His shot is blocked by Issa. No foul call. Now Holman loses the handle. And just like that, Alan Thomas back down the floor, knocked away from him by Holman. And Holman makes up for it. Trying to pull it again on Holman, but Henry can't get that ball away from him. Now Schaefer back to Issa. Looking to get it into Spencer. Thomas doing a good job fronting Spencer. Trying to stay between the ball handler and Spencer. Now Holman has it. Back over to Issa for three. Off the front of the rim, no good. Rebounded by Lewis. Oh, Henry's got it. Back out to Bond for three. Off the back of the rim, no good. Rebounded by Spencer.
Good shot, though. He really was squared up to the rim, and that was a quality look.
Looked a little flat to me.
Just a bit long.
Now Holman gets the screen, puts a three-pointer up, and it's good.
That's not flat.
That's just a two-pointer. Now Lewis for three, and it's off the rim, rebounded by Bugs. Putback is in and out, no good.
Nice follow-up there by Bugs. May want to look at if I'm Rex Stanzak, giving a blow to Jabril Hussein. Looks like he's catching a little wind right there, and he was in position for that rebound, and he never really jumped up. If you can take a look right here, Bugs just he reacted to the ball faster than Hussein did on that play.
No, Bugs' first free throw off the mark. Pioneer leading 22-19, 1:52 to play in the half. Next one is on the way, and it's good. Now Holman will walk it up the floor. Now Holman gets a ball back. Calling for the screen. Now to Schaefer, to Hussein in the corner. His jump shot is on the way, and it's no good. Rebounded by Lewis. Now Alan Thomas with the three-pointer off the mark. Rebounded by Holman. Nice look there by Alan Thomas. Just couldn't finish.
He couldn't finish, but the River Rats are getting more into their own tempo. Their style of play. They're getting the ball up in one or two passes up court and getting some quality shots. They're just not falling yet.
Yeah, Coach Samaha's got to be pretty happy with the shot selection. They're getting good spacing on the floor and finding the open shooter. They're just not draining it. Holman will inbound for Pioneer. 1:10 to play in the half. Spencer back to Holman.
This zone is not causing any turnovers that Coach Samaha likes to see, where his team can get out and get some of those easy transition buckets.
Now Holman taking his time. Hard to believe Pioneer's going to hold for the last shot, but that's exactly what it looks like they're going to do.
A strategy in this game comes from all angles. Coach Stanzak right now is playing a little bit of chess, not checkers.
Now under 35 seconds to play in the half. Holman still holding it.
And then here's this change by Huron. They're going to switch up into a man defense as opposed to the zone, so the stall kind of works for Pioneer.
Well, 20 seconds to play in the half. Holman over to Hussein, into Spencer, down low to Bertoya. Back out to Schaefer. Now Bertoya for three. Off the rim, no good. Under 10 to play.
There's
Spencer's
that guy.
Putback.
There's that guy.
Shot no good. He draws the foul.
Spencer's Mr. Scrappy for Pioneer.
There's Bertoya's shot. Spencer picking it up off the floor. And the putback is no good, but he will head to the line for two shots with just 7.4 left to play in the half.
That wasn't the most graceful move, but it'll get her done.
Spencer's first free throw is good.
Each time I see Spencer, it makes me think of football season for some reason. It's got that linebacker type of build.
Next one is on the way, and it's good. Oh, Bond up the floor quickly for Huron. Into Lewis. Lewis to the rim, and good. A nice job by Huron getting a bucket to end the half with just 7.4. They got it down the floor quickly, and Mike Lewis converted to cut this lead of Pioneer just to 2 at 24-22.
Well, hand delivered there by Bond. That was his third assist in the third quarter, where he knew exactly where one of his teammates were at. Lewis, of course, will finish strong. And being a lefty, of course, he has his body in between him and the defender.
We're going to take a quick break and be back with more second half action right here on City TV Sports.
PEG TV, Public, education, and government television programs reflect the specific interests and diversity of local communities. You've probably watched it without really knowing what it is or how it benefits you directly. Each community has its own personality, its own style, its own priorities, its own obstacles and needs. And one thing each community has in common is not just the need for its own voice, but access to the means to express it. PEG TV provides that. PEG TV channels are non-commercial and combined nationally deliver more original, locally made shows than all commercial television stations combined. PEG TV delivers entertaining, informational programs for everyone: seniors, youth, parents, educators, consumers, and in some areas delivers multilingual programming for ethnic communities. PEG TV also provides vital election coverage, public safety, and emergency information specific to where you live. Standard programming often includes council and commission meetings, public service announcements, and informational bulletin boards. Special interest programming often includes local festivals, parades, concerts, talk shows, magazine-style shows, and other programs unique to your village, your township, your city, and your neighborhood, which are often overlooked by commercial media programming. In many communities, PEG TV provides the only coverage of local government. Without PEG, it can be difficult for citizens to stay informed about local government issues and events. Your community has a voice, and that voice is speaking to your subdivision, your streets, your senior citizens, your property, and your family's safety, and it's speaking to you. Please learn more about this valuable resource. Tune in to your local PEG channels, then give the following websites a visit. Remember, we are your voice. PEG TV, public education and government television. Your voice, your community, your PEG.
Be a part of creating television for your community. Come on into the Community Television Network, CTN, where we offer free services like production training, facilities, and airtime to Ann Arbor residents and nonprofit groups. CTN, where Ann Arbor is on TV.
And welcome back to Ann Arbor Pioneer for second half action here on at Pioneer. Pioneer with a 2-point advantage, 24-22 to begin this third quarter. Kevin, you have some first half stats for us.
Sure, let's go down for the River Rats. First off, it was Bond with 4, Jackson pushed in 2, 6 for Mike Lewis, Allen Thomas had 5, Henry put in 2, Bugs with 3, and Perkins, the freshman, had 2. We'll pick up with Pioneer scores. They were led by Hussein with 12, Spencer put in 4, Holman 2, and 2 each for Wasson, Batoya, and Schaefer.
And to begin the second half, Kendall Thomas with the bucket, knotted up at 24 once again. I think we'll see a lot of this close game, tie score during the second half.
I'd be very surprised if either team went on a run of where another team was behind by more than a possession or two, Pete.
Well, Pioneer on offense.
Looks like the Rats have changed up their defensive set, going a 1-2-2.
Now entry pass to Ethan Spencer, and his layup is good. Oh, Bond looking to the bench, looking for some instruction. He gets it. Sets up the River Rat offense. Now into Lewis. Lewis backing down the lane.
Good look.
Gets it to Bugs. And Bugs with the layup. Nice recognition by Lewis. Seeing Bugs coming down the baseline and got the easy bucket.
Good cut by Bugs as well, too, because it really helped out Lewis. The double team really put him in a bind.
Hussein gets the ball down low and puts the layup up and in.
Hussein's 12 points really paced the Pioneers in the first half.
Now Bond puts a shot up, no good. We have a whistle. Here's a look at Hussein's layup.
And again, he operates from what I would call the opposite side, being a right-handed player, because he's bringing the ball right to the defender. Yet his quickness and size is really not allowing the defender to get any type of block on him.
Well, Lewis inbounds to Thomas. Now bounce pass back to Mike Lewis. He'll drive. Shot is no good, and he draws the foul. It's like Ethan Spencer called for the foul.
Just like any good scorer, Mike Lewis has changed up his approach from the first half to the second half. He started off behind the arc. Now he's posting up on the box, and as opposed to putting up a rush shot, he's taking his time. He's patient, a couple setting dribbles and turning and shooting the ball.
Now Lewis hits both of his free throws. Here's Lewis on the drive, getting the foul from Spencer. Spencer giving him the body. And Lewis makes it pay off with 2 free throws, and we're tied at 28. Now Spencer out to Hussein, back to Holman, around to Issa. Now Holman with the jumper, and it's good. Now Jimmy Holman might have the purest shot of anybody on the floor.
It's really a shot when he goes up is really well balanced too. He gets up off the floor and he shoots a pure jump shot. It's a jet.
And Bond on the drive, call for the offensive foul. Possession to Pioneer.
We're talking about earlier Bond's aggressiveness that time getting the better of him. But you like that if you're Coach Samaha.
Now Holman for 3, in and out, no good. Rebounded by Lewis. And Mike Lewis will hand it off to Bugs. Now over to Thomas. Back out to Bond. Now Huron working the ball around the perimeter. Now Lewis, I think he was in a drive, held up, handed off to Bugs. Now back out top to Deontay Jackson.
At this stage in the second half, both teams are pretty fresh. You can see how the Pioneers aren't really reaching in. They're moving their feet and putting themselves in a good position.
Now Lewis with the drive, and he draws the foul before the shot.
That'll be the third one on Spencer. You can tell him, just when I'm telling you about moving the feet, he puts out his hands, and he'll never be able to keep up with Mike Lewis on a foot speed, even laterally like that.
And with that third foul, Ethan Spencer heads to the bench. Nick Rakic will come in to replace him for Pioneer.
Rakic will have to put special attention on the backboard because that's what Spencer's all about. He's a scrappy player.
Now Andre Bond called for the foul.
That would be his third foul as well.
Holman brings it up the floor slowly. Now Orisa back to Holman. To Schaefer with the jumper, and it's good. And that's a three-pointer. Now Bond on the drive. Scoop shot off the glass and good.
Oh, that's butter. Nice. The finger roll.
That's highlight reel worthy right there.
Oh, sweet.
Issa looked for the three-pointer, covered up quickly. Now down low to Hussein. Hussein with the turn jumper, off the rim, no good. Picked up off the floor by Bond. Bond will push it. Bond coast to coast.
Strong.
Shot is no good, but he draws the foul.
Well, you gotta like the way Bond attacks the rim because he's putting himself and his team in a very good position where he attacks it, glides up to the rim. This is the first finger roll, and he really extended. Showed his length on that time. The second time he goes to the rack, he gets rewarded as well by causing a Pioneer foul.
First free throw is in and out, no good from Bond. 3:50 to play here in the third quarter. Pioneer with a 33-30 advantage. Here's the second drive and the foul on Bond.
And you can see Holman check that in the backside, catching him on the top of his head as he went to the rack.
Second one is on the way, and it's through for Andre Bond. Bond will sit down. Alan Thomas will come into the game for Huron.
Coach Samaha is trying to keep his players fresh, knowing that this game will probably come down to the last possession, fourth quarter. They always do, it seems like.
Now Holman, top of the key, moving the ball around the perimeter. There's a three-pointer by Hussein. Off the rim, no good.
Good hustle by Batoya.
Picked up off the floor by Rakic. He got to Hussein. Hussein with the layup. Counted in the foul.
Well, that play was made possible by Nick Batoya going hard to the rim. He may not be the tallest guy out there, but you'll see him here. Well, you didn't catch the tip back. It goes to Rakic, and Rakic catches Hussein, who cuts hard to the rim.
And Hussein completes the three-point play. And the Pioneers' lead is now stretched to 5, 36-31.
Hussein is really feeling it from the floor tonight. That was his 17th point of the evening to lead all scorers.
Now Kendall Thomas with the ball, drives the baseline, puts a shot up. It's blocked.
Smart play there by Hussein on the defensive end.
Now pass down low to Hussein. He'll kick it back out. Nearly tipped away by Kendall Thomas.
You see Thomas crossed up Hussein, but you know what? Little fella, you got to bring the ball up to me is what Hussein says on that play.
What's an old cliche there, Kevin? You can't teach height.
Oh, and coaches love it.
Now York for three. It's short off the rim, picked off by Lewis. Lewis brings it up the floor, gets it to Thomas. Now in the corner to Yante Jackson. That's off the rim, no good.
Similar to the way the River Rats start, no one's down low to pick up some of those missed shots. Just one shot and done for the Rats so far.
Now Rakic has it. He'll kick it back out to Bertoya. Knocked off of Bertoya's foot and out of bounds. It's Huron basketball.
Active hands there by Yante Jackson. He's going out of the game as gets a pat on the back from the coach and his players because his poke away caused that turnover from the Pioneers.
Thomas to Alan Thomas. Back to Thomas.
Yes, they're cousins out there, folks.
Allen and Kendall. Now Lewis with the ball. Drive shut off by Rakic. And a three-pointer by Thomas. Off the rim, no good. And that's going to be off Demetrius Sims. And out of bounds, and Pioneer will take possession. Minute 45 to play in the third. Holman calls for the screen. Now Holman with the jumper off the front of the rim, no good. He will draw the foul.
Good example there, Pete. You were talking earlier about young Jimmy Holman's jump shot shooting prowess, and you can see how he's even on balance when he goes up to the rim, feels the contact from the rear, catches the foul, and goes to the line to shoot two.
Very square as he approaches the basket and goes up and stays square. It's almost like one of those old set shot guys from the past.
True, but it's very difficult. You really improve, young fellas out there listening to this broadcast, your success rate if you can get squared up to the basket like Holman is doing. There's a crucial time out there for Coach Samha because his team, if Holman can knock down these two free throws, that'll be the largest lead since the first quarter for the Pioneers.
Yeah, when they really controlled that first quarter, and then Huron really fought back to tie the game, and it's been close ever since up until this point. Well, free throws on tap for Holman. First one on the way, and it's pure. And frankly, I would expect nothing less from Jimmy Holman.
They're going to miss this third-year starter next year when he's gone playing on the collegiate level.
Next one on the way, nothing but net.
You don't find 3-year starting guards too often. That's special.
7-point lead for Pioneer. Now Henry handling by the timeline. We get it to Kendall Thomas. Kendall Thomas with the drive, protecting the ball off the rim, no good. Follows his own rebound. Ripped away by Rakic. That's about all Kendall Thomas could do, but the bigger Rakic pulled the ball away from him.
Nice quality shot from Thomas, 10-foot little floater, but again, no one's on the board for the River Rats. And when Weeks went out with his third foul, as well as Bond, the Rats getting on the rebound has really gone downhill so far.
Well, York will hand it back to Holman. Oh, Holman with the jumper from 3, off the rim, no good. Bertoya went up for the offensive rebound. So Alan Thomas is going to be called for the foul. And Antonio Henry picking up the foul for Huron.
Well, if we take a quick look at that, and you can tell either player from Huron was following Nick Bertoya on that rebound. I mean, he really just put himself in the right position, went up and strong, got the ball with 2 hands.
Now ball inbounded to Rakic. Back to Holman. Holman will bring it back out.
Holman's just a cool customer, boy. He never looks phased out here running the Pioneer offense.
Now York with it. Back out to Holman. Now Rakic will put the ball on the floor, take it to the hole, and hit the shot.
Hello, that's a surprise move there from Rakic. Way he put the ball on the deck that time. Didn't expect that.
Now Henry with the drive. It's off the rim, no good. Tevis Robinson with the rebound. He hits the deck, and we have a whistle.
And Rakic, you didn't see the drop step there he employed, but nice left-hand touch from the guy.
Oh, Pioneer out to its biggest lead of the game, 9 points. Closing seconds of the third quarter. Shot by York on the way. It's off the rim, no good. And at the end of 3, it's Pioneer 40. Huron 31 here on City TV Sports.
Well, 16-9 scoring run there by Pioneer in the third quarter. Gets into their largest lead of the night. Really unexpected, Pete, for Huron to come out so flat after they fought so well back in the second quarter.
Well, and we were talking earlier, we thought this would be a 1-2 possession game, and right now it stands at 3 3-pointers away from Huron catching up to Pioneer at this point.
And the Rats really haven't been shooting too well from behind the arc tonight. They are capable. Thomas, we've seen him go off, and of course Lewis, the last time we saw him, he dropped in 29, and his last peak check that he shot from about midcourt was all twine as well. So they're not out of this game by any means, but they're really going to have to pick up the pace here starting off this fourth quarter. They're going to look to sweep the Pioneers this year. Of course, they won by 1 point on their home court 3 weeks ago.
All fourth quarter on tap. Hope you've enjoyed all the action so far here on City TV Sports. I'm Pete Porer along with Kevin Bryant with all the play-by-play action. We'll see if the Riverettes can respond here in this fourth quarter. Pioneer will begin the fourth quarter with possession.
You know, between these two teams, Pete, there's only one loss in the 2012 season so far in this new year. That one loss, Huron dealt it to Pioneer 3 weeks ago.
A game that we did right here on City TV Sports. Now Holman with the ball. Over to Rakic, back to Holman. Now Rakic for 3. Off the rim, no good. Rebounded by Lewis. Nice position by Mike Lewis. Now Lewis down to Buggs. Jumper by Buggs is in and out, no good. Alan Thomas with the offensive board, but he steps out of bounds. Well, you finally got what you're asking for, Kevin, an offensive rebound from the Riverettes, but unfortunately, Alan Thomas stepped out of bounds.
Well, because Samaha can be happy about one thing. They really did a good job on the defensive end boxing out. And I think out of anything that he wants to have happen for his Rats in this fourth quarter is to own the paint.
They have a whistle, and it's a timeout called by Pioneer.
Well, Coach Stanczak doesn't want his team to get any type of turnovers that can let the Rats back into this game. Whenever you're up on your opponent, especially if it's your crosstown rival, you want to step on his neck and make sure you're like that, in that position, that posture, until the zero's on the clock. No love lost between these two teams.
As you were telling me off air, these two coaches just don't see quite eye to eye, and which really adds to this crosstown rivalry.
Oh, the proximity, it's always better, as they were quoted in the newspaper earlier in the AnnArbor.com 2 weeks ago. Coaches like it when both teams are good, and both of these teams are good.
Three-pointer off the mark by Schaefer. Long pass to Bond, no one there. Picked off by Hussein.
Now, really never seen Mike Lewis struggle this much throughout the entire night. He's had a quarter or two usually, but he comes to life. Today he just seems to be a step behind.
Now Spencer with the entry pass to Hussein, knocked out of bounds by Bugs. Pioneer will keep possession. Now ball inbound to Hussein. Thought about the three-pointer for a second. Shot it back out to Holman.
He may be leading them in scoring, but that would have been a bad three-pointer if Hussein would have taken it. Oh, they missed him back door.
Looks like they're trying to set that up once again. Hussein back out to Issa. To Holman.
Pioneer being very patient with it. Looking for a good shot.
It's short. Rebounded by Bugs. And Alan Thomas loses the handle.
I think he was moving a little bit too fast that time. Thought about it, was trying to make that move happen a little bit too soon.
Now ball back out to Thomas. Looking like they're picking up the pressure on the ball handle a little bit.
Oh, they'll have to because, Coach Stanczak will keep his boys back. They don't need to score right now.
Shot up is no good. It's out of bounds. Off a River Rat. It'll be Pioneer basketball.
Again, the district championship is really, the driver's seat is on the line tonight. Both of these teams tied for first place.
Now cross court to Issa for three, and it's through. Gabe Issa with the three. Pioneer up 12 with 5:15 to play here in the game.
Somebody's going to have to step up for the River Rats. Usually that person's Mike Lewis, but he's had a tough night tonight so far.
Now Lewis gets it. He'll jack up the shot. Off the rim, no good. Rebounded by Bugs. His pass to Henry. Henry was actually moving down the lane, and it was behind him. Picked up by Pioneer.
Got to have better court spacing to make a pass like that.
Now Hussein on the baseline. Goes up with the shot. He draws the foul. And a technical is called.
Oh. That had to be something said. And it just seemed to be an excitement move there by Hussein. And he was celebrating with his own players, yet the official heard something. He snapped his neck back and immediately assessed a technical foul to the Pioneers.
You saw him shake his head as he was saying something, and the referee teed him up.
You don't usually see a play like that happen from an official. They usually allow them to celebrate, especially if a player isn't being demonstrative in his opponent's face.
Oh, Hussein's going to shoot the technical.
That may be the personal that he's going to shoot down here. Maybe the PA announcer will help us out on that one, but I believe this may be the personal foul on the play. and then it should go down to the other end where Huron will have 2 shots.
Hussein's first free throw is good. The only reason I say that is there's no one underneath the on the lines. Usually, at least the Pioneer players would be over there. But apparently, since you're walking it down to the other end of the floor,
and of course,
no necessity for it.
And the possession after the foul shot here by Huron will go right to Pioneers, so no need to put the players down low.
So Hussein hits 1 free throw. And Andre Bond will head to the line, shooting the technicals for Huron. He gets the first one.
Just what Huron needed right there really was an opportunity, not capitalized fully by Bond, but to get a score without the clock moving. And Pioneer only with 5 fouls so far in the fourth quarter. 3 more fouls before they're in the bonus, right? So.
Well, Pioneer will be shooting at least 1-1 the rest of the way.
See Coach Stanzak on across from us really getting into Hussein. He might be the leading scorer tonight. You can't have that type of reaction to allow your opponent to get back in the game. It's just not a smart play, even though it didn't look like he was doing anything wrong, celebrating with his own teammate.
Now Henry on the drive. Diving save by Cameron Haywood. He's called for the travel. That'll be Pioneer ball. Nice effort play by Haywood, but couldn't get the timeout before the travel was called.
Another uncharacteristic turnover for the River Rats. They might check this timeout.
A timeout, Pioneer. Huron trapping down in the corner.
Just another opportunity there for Coach Stanzak, not wanting to turn the ball over, and any way that Huron could gain any type of momentum. Pioneer knows how fast they can get back in the game. They want to squelch that type of thought process for Coach Samaha and any of the River Rats. The body language right now for the River Rats as they come back on the court just doesn't look like a team that feels good about themselves either.
Well, down 12 midway through the fourth quarter, it's not a lot to feel good about. But there's still plenty of time to try and get back in this game.
Well, you definitely know what a River Rat is about, right? We win on the River card. So that last card is some Texas Hold'em.
I see. Well, we'll see. We've got 4:27 to play.
Well, I'm just quoting how they put it in the Webster's Dictionary.
Gotcha. Ball inbound to Esau. Huron with the trap. Playing more aggressively on defense. Schaefer with the open jumper, and he hits it. And that's what you leave yourself open for. Shot by Bond is off the mark. Rebound by Rakic.
And here comes some full court pressure by the Rats.
Now Rakic uncontested under the rim, could not hit the layup. Picked up by Lewis. Lewis shut off. He's going to go for the jumper, but it's knocked out of his hands.
Again, that's a play that normally doesn't happen out of Lewis losing the ball like that.
Now Spencer down low to Rakic. And he hits the uncontested layup this time.
That was just awesome ball movement there by the Pioneers. Not allowing Huron, even though they're turning up the defensive pressure, to be successful at it. Playing hot potato.
Oh, Coach Waleed Samaha for Huron calling timeout. His team down 16 now.
Well, both teams know that they'll face each other in districts, so there's a little bit less urgency sometimes placed on a in-season game. But I tell you, Pete, neither coach wants to lose to the other, and neither team wants to win an opportunity to gain the SEC regular season title.
3:31 to play.
If there was ever a team that was built to come back fast, though, it's the River Rats. They're scrappy on defense. They can get after you after a made or even a missed basket. So they don't have to have made free throws or even field goals for them to set up their full court pressure.
Huron back onto the floor, minus Mike Lewis. Grant Strickler in the game for the River Rats.
Couple new faces and a same old result, though.
Bounce pass intercepted by Holman.
And he smartly just takes his time walking it up.
Definitely no rush at this point. Up 16 with just over 3 minutes to go.
Well, last year, when these two teams met on this floor, it was the River Rats came away with a 26-point blowout. Pioneer remembered that. Good week of practice, and they weren't going to have that happen again here.
Pioneer passing it around the perimeter. Issa to Hussein, back to Spencer.
And they're really just taking the air out of the ball. Nobody's really looking at the rim. And they're just going to make Huron force the action and make a mistake or even get an open layup.
It's really not in Huron's best interest to foul, being down 16, really not going to help them at all. Hussein with the shot, and it's good. Now Bugs with the drive. Shot is in and out.
It's just
no
been
good.
that kind of night for the River Rats. In and out, in and out.
Nice look, good drive. Just could not finish.
Yeah, somebody's got a lid on the rack, man. Somebody on that rim down here where the River Rats are playing. They're just not been kind to them.
No, Pioneer calls timeout.
Wouldn't be surprised if Coach Stanzak brings in a couple seniors to get a little taste of this crosstown rivalry. Game looks like it's in pocket. Pioneer up 18.
Well, Pioneer looks like they're going to call off the Dogs. I see Cole Taylor on the floor, along with Cal Kirchen. Names we've not called all night. Taylor a junior and Kirchen a junior.
Always special when you can reward the guys that really help you. It's a full team effort, a team win. And when you can clear the bench and get some guys that might not log a lot of minutes into an important game like this, they'll always remember this experience.
Also, Ismail Hussein on the floor for Pioneer, along with Malik Ford. And Tevis Robinson rounding out the 5 for Pioneer. Cole Taylor listed at 5'7". I'm not quite sure he's quite that tall. Maybe with his hair, he's 5'7".
A little Fletch going on out here, huh?
There's an intercept by Strickler down the floor. Basket is no good by Cameron Haywood, and he is called for the travel. Close. And the hits just keep on coming for the River Rats.
Yeah, it's been just one of those days. Sometimes whatever happens just not going to happen the right way, and I don't think it's soccer, son.
Well, Haywood with the kick ball.
Well, this will be the first loss for the River Rats of the new year. The Pioneer, of course, have only loss of the new year to Huron. Kind of apropos.
Payback.
There you go.
Oh, shot up no good. Rebound pulled down by Demetrius Sims.
And if they're right, Pete, payback is a dish served cold.
Now Bugs to Strickler. Back out to Sims. Sims with the scoop drive. Off the rim, no good. Ball on the floor.
Well, we don't want the game to end like the first game of these two teams. It was a one-point game, and there's a scrum like that, and it seemed like everybody in the arena were, if you're on green, you're out there in that scrum. If you're in white, you're out there in that scrum. Let's Keep it clean, guys.
35 seconds to play in the game. Strickler for three. Off the mark, no good. Picked up off the floor by Haywood.
I think Haywood has to be a little bit more aggressive there on his own. You like to find your teammate, but that setting, you're only 10 feet away from the rim. Go right up with it.
Now, shot up and good. Ernest Johnson for Huron. Now, intercept by Strickler. He passes it right to Hussein. Hussein's jumper, Ismail Hussein, is off the mark, and we have another whistle with just 3.9 to play.
Well, since that three-pointer to open up the second half by Hussein, or I'm sorry, it was Issa for the fourth quarter, Pioneer has not looked back. Holding the River Rats to only 4 points in the fourth quarter, cruising to this W, Pete.
And that's going to do it as time runs out. Teams congratulating each other at the center of the floor. I'd like to thank all the people that make this production possible. Our director, Rob Cross. Audio and replay by Jim Slim McKinley. CG Ops by Robert Hughes. Our camera guys, Michael Dermody, Paul Sutherland, and Joe Dinda. For Kevin Bryant, this is Pete Porter. Once again, the final for Ann Arbor Pioneer. It's Pioneer 50 and Huron 34.